How's everybody doing today? Been a couple years actually since I put an update on the Poland vehicles. So I thought I'd just kind of make a video here and kind of let you guys know what's going on. A lot's been going on. As you can see, we made a lot of progress on our shop where we can actually work on stuff. This shed was actually falling down. We're going to continue to keep working on it. We got new concrete in it. There's all the insulation for the walls. There's Mayhem. Mayhem's ready to roll. We got a brand new big block Chevy in there, 540, built by Deemer's Performance out of Carroll, Iowa. It is alcohol injected. It has profiler heads, profiler tunnel ram on it. It dynoed out around 960 horse, but torque numbers are really good on it, and that's where on Poland vehicles, that's where you want to be at, is you want to be looking at your torque numbers. It's not a high RPM motor. By no means. We got it dynoed in there around 74, 7,500. RPM is kind of where we think the sweet spot is, but had a lot of issues trying to get this thing running. Had a brand new ignition. We switched everything over from a Magneto that we ran a couple years ago to where now we're running an MSD box, an MSD 7. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's down there. But we finally got it all wired in, and we couldn't get the dang thing to fire, and come to find out it was this little thing right here, the kill switch. When you run a mag, the way you kill your kill switch is you ground the motor. Well, that kill switch was normally closed, or I believe, yeah, be normally open, and then when you push it, open it up, it'd be normally closed, or when you'd have it pushed in, it'd be normally closed, so it wouldn't make ground and it wouldn't kill the mag. Well, I was trying to run it like a regular ignition, running power through it, and then run it the MSD box, and of course power wasn't going through it because the kill switch was reversed. So we got a new kill switch on it. We got all that done. Like I said, I had a little trouble with fouling a couple plugs when I had it idling the other day. I still don't know if my return lines, there's probably a lot of junk and crap in the fuel lines yet, but it's ready to roll. So we're going to actually, next weekend, next Saturday night, we're going to take this to the Greene County Fair in Jefferson, Iowa. We're going to make a pass with it, see if it runs. It is really fat. It'll probably be puking fuel out of the exhaust, but with the first pull down the track, I don't want to run it lean. So that's where we at our Mayhem. It's ready to rock and roll. So, like I said, we're interested in getting it out, getting running some. It will not probably pull with any organization this year. If it does, it might be at a couple Northwest Missouri state polls this year, because that's kind of where we've been running the tractor. So that's kind of where we're at there. I got to get a new bell housing for it. That's all there is to it. The bell housing it's a good lined bell housing, but it's old. And there's no stickers on it, and they will not SFI it if there is no stickers on it, and you cannot run it if it's not up to date. So we're not going to risk going anywhere with it. Like I said, I agree 100% with the rules. So we need to get a new bell housing for it, and that's about, by the time you get shipping and everything here, it's about $1,900, and I just don't want to spend that money right now if we don't have to. So we'll head over here to the tractor. And give you guys a little update on what's going on. It's actually still in the trailer. Just kind of give you guys a little update. We had our first win last weekend. Been 4 years coming. It's been really exciting to get this thing worked out. We've made some changes in the fuel system, changes in the turbo system. We are really looking forward to just keep tweaking on it. It's still really fat on the line. It's over fueling on the line. And I'll kind of show you what we've done to hopefully fix that. So first thing we did to really wake this girl up is we changed out exhaust housings on the turbo. We had a 108 exhaust housing on it. We went to a 123, which is actually bigger. The 123 will make the fuel system work slower. When we were running the HX60, it did not have as much boost in the motor, especially at early stages. So we're thinking that the boost valve was opening up and causing the motor to overflood. So I'll kind of give you a little insight on what this little valve does here. This little valve here is kind of the brains of the alcohol system. And what it is, it's a return line from your fuel down there up to here. And what you do is you put a air pill in here. If you look here, there's a brass valve here, and you put different size pills in here to change how much pressure you want going in this valve. So as you build boost, which there's a line there, as you build boost, this valve tries to shut. And when this valve tries to shut, it pushes more fuel to the motor. Now you still have your stages, but this is kind of what kind of makes your horsepower right here. You can change that pill to bigger or smaller if you want to lean it out, richen it up. What we think was happening was, and what we're going to try is that's a 17 gallon per minute fuel pump down there. That's probably too big for this motor. We know that, but it builds pressure. This thing's got 170 pounds of fuel pressure. And you know, when you build pressure, the fuel atomizes better, and it burns better, because this thing is a screamer when it's running. I mean, it runs really good. Like I said, we won by 20 feet the other night. Really happy with it. We had actually a friend of mine, Scott Walker, said you better put some more weight on the front, and we put 600 pounds on the front. That's 200 more than we've ever ran before, and it still brought the front end up 3 or 4 feet. So we are getting there. So on that big fuel pump down there, so there's different sized fuel lines. You run -6, -8s, whatever, and they're just bigger as you go up higher. So we were running at a -8 or a -6 fuel line. And so what we're thinking was going on was the fuel was getting restricted on the return, because it was pumping more fuel than it could return, and it was restricting through the lines. And so this is the next project that we're doing, is we've increased our return to -8 to try to see if we can get more fuel going to the tank before it needs it, because it's not building any EGTs in the motor. It's not building any heat in the motor. This motor is not getting over 100 or 750 on EGTs, and we should be running at least 900. So we got to get it leaned down. So we're hoping by, unrestricting that fuel, putting it through a bigger fuel line, getting a bigger fuel line going to the boost valve so more air can go in, so more fuel can be returned to the motor. We're hoping that makes a difference. We're only going to make small changes at this point because it's running good. I mean, it's running really good. It is a slobbering drunk on the line. It does not like to go, and you just kind of got to let it go on its own out of the line, and it'll sit there and about 15, 20 feet out, it decides that, hey, I'm going to go, and it picks the front end up and takes off, and it runs really good. So that's kind of where we're at on the tractor. We're doing some stuff here. The bigger exhaust housing made a big difference. When we were doing some data, we finally got our data logger to work through the phone apps and all this stuff. And when we had that smaller housing on there, we were running like 90 pounds. We always measure the boost, or basically the pressure on both sides of the turbos. The exhaust pressure on the backside, and then the boost pressure on the compressor side. But when I was checking the pressures on the exhaust side, the pressures on the exhaust sides were over 90 pounds. The boost pressure was over 70, and this thing was pushing oil out of the crankcase. So what we were thinking is doing is all the exhaust wasn't getting out of the motor. So what we decided to do is put a bigger housing on it, and I was like, okay, so is that going to slow the turbo down? Well, the last pass we made, it had 68 pounds of drive pressure to the turbo, and it had 65 pounds of boost. So really, it evened it out almost perfect. So it's not restricting the exhaust getting out of the motor, and it did not have any blow-by it was not pushing any oil out in any of the case breathers when we ran it like that. This little turbo here it's really got it zinging pretty good. One thing we did over the summer or over the winter is we took the head off of it, and the head went up to Harry's Heads up in Sioux City, and had them work the head over with some more port work on it. We do got a new camshaft ordered for it to give it about a 1/4 inch more lift than it has. But when that happens, we're going to have to take the head back off and make sure that the head, to change the springs and all that, to make sure the springs and all, we don't get into any spring bind, to make sure that lift is going to work in this motor. So that's a winter project. We got some things we need to do to it over the winter. I want to lighten up the bull gears in it. With the Outlaw and the NTPA combined, we need to get the SFI cage in it. The cage I had an NTPA tech come look at it. The cage will pass right now. There's no problems with the cage, but we got to just make some shrouding on this, and and just kind of give you an idea on what these bell housings look like. This tractor has a bell housing also, which not many tractors in this class do unless you run an Oliver. Because in an Oliver, you can see here, we have a bell housing on the back of the motor. You see this today here? Well, this bell housing here is expired in 2025. So I cannot run this tractor with NTPA or Outlaw right now until I get that until I send it back to Browell and get that done, which I'll get that done this winter. I just don't want to do it now because I got to pull the motor out to get all this out because there's just not enough room in there to get that transmission, which this is not a shifting transmission, by the way. We cannot have a shifting transmission. All this box does is it just speeds up everything going into the rear end housing. Everything in this rear end housing on this Oliver 1800 is stock gears. There's nothing special about the gears in this rear end housing. We're running about a 20-to-1 ratio in here, which is pretty good. And it's turning it. It's turning it really good. So if I can figure out how to do it, I'll attach the video of the pull at the end of this deal. And I'll tell you what, this is getting exciting finally. After 4 years of fighting this thing and wondering why it wouldn't run right and this and that, we're finally making headway. But like I said, this is 100% home built. I mean, everything on this, intake, exhaust, I mean, the motor, I mean, the only thing that we had, I mean, other than the machine shop services and the building the pistons and the rods, everything in this motor we built here in these old sheds that I got. And with the new shed going up, and it like I said, going to give you more space in there to work. And I'm just really excited about what's getting ready to happen. I mean, it is hard to beat the intercooled diesels right now. They've got their stuff together with the different technology they have with fuel pumps now. They have really, the intercooled 410s are tough to get around. I don't think us Alkies can get it. I know there's 3 of the top Alkies in the country run up here in the Midwest, and they're not getting, I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's a couple of them that we can't get close to. So, I mean, kudos to them. They've got it figured out. Now we've got to step our game up and figure out how to get more out of what we're doing to make this even. Like I said, the one thing we are doing, we are pulling at 6,500 pounds. I don't like 6,500 pounds, but that's the class rules. I'd like to see that drop down to 6,250. I think at 6,250, it equals out the horsepower to people, even at 6,200. Some of those really high horsepower diesels can't get a hold of the track at 6,200. We're at 65. Their torque levels that they're running are just a lot higher than what we are. We're not these little motors, these little 370 cubic inch Alky motors are not torque motors. They're just, alcohol's a different breed than it is diesel. And when you pull on a track where they're letting everybody run to 350 feet, we might as well stay home. I hate to say that, but we'll keep working on it. We'll keep trying to get more horsepower out of it. And we'll see everybody somewhere. If anybody wants to a shirt this year, look me up this year at Pulls. I'll have shirts with me. I'm selling them all out. It's $10 a piece. I got a bunch of them with all of our breakdowns and stuff, and no more than we've been out pulling the last couple years. I've got a bunch of them, and I'm wanting to move them. So everybody have a great summer, and we'll hope, like I said, right now we're setting second in points for the Northwest Missouri State Tractor Pullers. And we plan on hitting all their hooks the rest of the summer as long as it stays together. But our next pull will be in Jefferson, Iowa, just as a test pull here in about another week and a half. So great, everybody. Thanks for following me. Appreciate all the appreciate all the comments and stuff, and look forward to seeing everyone. Thanks. Bye.